with an avowed commitment to ensuring that the Nigerian state is safe, intact and peaceful for nation building. The Nigerian army in its steadfastness is hunting down enemies of states as bandits, terrorists and secessionists, as well as oil thieves from across its theater of operations. On this note, we welcome you to episode 40 of Soja Weekly Update, a program of the Nigerian Army on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and X that guarantees authentic news and information from the top Army brass policy formulation and implementation to the field successes of the soldiers. Thank you for joining us. I am Francis Kabile, your host. Welcome back. Of course, with Soja Weekly Update, there is no dull moment. So, let's begin. Chief of Army Staff visits troops in OGOJA, commends their dedication to national security. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General UNALLOYED, has commended the officers and soldiers of 130 Battalion and 341 Artillery Regiment, OGOJA, Cross River State, for their resilience and unwavering commitment to national security, urging them to make more sacrifices for the nation. The Chief of Army Staff gave the commendation recently during an operational visit to Godwin Ali Barracks, OGOJA. The visit formed part of his assessment tour of Nigerian Army formations and units under the 82 Division area of operational responsibility. During the visit, the Chief of Army Staff inspected key facilities, interacted with the troops and expressed appreciation for their sacrifices in defending the nation despite challenging operational demands. Lieutenant General Oluyede, who is passionate about the education of soldiers, children and wards, disclosed that he is investing significant resources to revamp schools in the barracks in order to provide their children with first-class education.
I have seen the bad state of that school. I have already approved somebody to come and repair the school. And because I realized that most soldiers now take their children out of the barracks to private school, what I've done is that all the teachers, those of them that have been casual workers for more than 20 years, I say we should absorb them. I will pay them. So when I pay them, you will now demand that they teach your children well. Do you understand? Yes, sir. And from the end of this month, all of them will pay. So if I pay you as a teacher, it is your job to ensure that your children are well, taught in those schools. Is that clear? Yes, sir. All is just for me, for your children to be able to go to good schools, so that you can produce doctors, you can produce lawyers.
The Chief of Army Staff also directed the immediate renovation of dilapidated accommodations to improve the living conditions of soldiers and their families. Speaking further, the Chief of Army Staff emphasized that under his leadership, the Nigerian Army remains committed to improving the living and working conditions of its personnel while equipping them to effectively tackle evolving security challenges. He noted that the recent increase in the ration cash allowance has enabled commanders to provide better feeding for soldiers and therefore expect them to reciprocate by giving their best in the discharge of their duties. The Chief of Army Staff also informed the soldiers of ongoing effort to provide all Nigerian Army personnel with new sets of uniforms and essential military kits to enable them to perform their duties seamlessly. These measures, he explained, are part of deliberate efforts to standardize operational readiness, enhance morale, reinforce esprit de corps, and entrench his soldiers' first mantra. General Oluyede charged the troops to uphold the highest standards of discipline and professionalism while fostering synergy with sister security agencies and host communities, stressing that such collaboration is vital to achieving lasting peace and stability in the region. Elsewhere, troops of 3 Division Joint Task Force Operation Enduring Peace arrest notorious cattle rustlers, recover arms and ammunition in PLATEAU states. As part of efforts to curtail the menace of cattle rustling, which often triggers crisis in the joint operations area, troops of 3 Division Joint Task Force Operation Enduring Peace raided the hideout of suspected cattle rustlers at OGOJA community in Mango local government area of PLATEAU State. During the intelligence-based operation conducted on 11th September 2025, troops arrested 2 notorious cattle rustlers and recovered the following items from the suspects: 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 AK-47 magazine, 1 fabricated revolver rifle, 10 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, 1 mobile phone, and cash. The arrested suspects and recovered items were in the custody of troops for investigation. Meanwhile, troops are conducting follow-up operations to intercept and arrest other members of the criminal syndicate. This arrest is pivotal to the ongoing effort to tackle the triggers of crisis, which troops of 3 Division Joint Task Force Operation Enduring Peace are actively involved and have sworn to do in the joint operations area. Meanwhile, troops smash gun-running syndicates, arrest 35 suspects in ongoing operations. Troops of 6th Division Nigerian Army, in painstaking intelligence-led operation, successfully smashed gun-running syndicates noted for their notoriety in trafficking small arms and light weapons to criminals across the Niger Delta region. The operation led to the interception of 2 English pistols, 4 locally fabricated pistols, and a double-barreled gun. The criminals were noted to be engaged in arms deals using the Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and Bayelsa State corridor for the discrete movement of illicit small arms and light weapons within the Niger Delta region. The gun runners, identified as Innocent Emiyemokumo Deide, aka Selebobo, God Knows Alabo Avo, and Godwin Osik, were apprehended at different times through intelligence-driven operations. The suspect and arms recovered were handed over to the relevant agency for prosecution. Relatedly, while consolidating on the ongoing anti-oil theft operations across the Niger Delta region, troops made notable gains between 25th August and 7th September 2025. This resulted in the destruction of 6 illegal refining sites, the arrest of 35 criminals, and the confiscation of over 14,000 liters of stolen products. Those arrested include 3 gun runners, oil thieves, and other involved in sundry crimes. In Rivers State, around the kilometer 45 axis in Degama local government area, 2 illegal refining sites were deactivated with 4,500 liters and 3,000 liters of stolen crude and illegally refined automotive gasoline oil recovered, respectively. Also around Rumukwe in Omohua local government area, troops discovered multiple dugout pits with crude oil. A suspect was picked up while attempting to package over 1,800 liters of stolen crude in sacks. Additionally, at OPHK community, near the boundary between Rivers and Imo states, troops recovered 35 sacks filled with over 1,750 liters of illegally refined AGO. At Omoko in Ogba Egbema in Doni local government area, a white Mitsubishi Hilux conveying 12 sacks of stolen AGO was intercepted along the Kiri Omoko Elele road. The driver abandoned the vehicle and fled into the nearby bush on sighting the troops. In another development, troops of 12th Brigade rescue 17 kidnapped victims in Kogi State. In a sustained effort to get rid of banditry and other criminal activities in Kogi State, gallant troops of 12th Brigade Nigerian Army, in conjunction with hybrid forces and local vigilante, have successfully rescued 17 kidnapped victims, including 13 adults and 4 children. The incident occurred on 10th September 2025 when troops deployed at Petrol Base Akpata received credible intelligence of a kidnapped incident at Okpamaru village along Obajana-Lokoja Road. The victims, who were traveling in a 17-seater bus from Ocean State and headed for Abuja, were intercepted by the criminals before troops swiftly intervened. Without delay, the patrol base, reinforced by the Brigade Quick Response Group, immediately mobilized to the scene. On arrival, the troops discovered a 17-seater bus abandoned by the roadside, completely empty. Employing field craft, the soldiers swiftly trailed the kidnappers' footprint to Wuro village in Adavi local government area, where the troops came in contact with the criminals. Overpowered by the troops' superior firepower, the criminals abandoned all 17 kidnapped passengers and fled into the bush with various degrees of gunshot injuries. The rescued victims were immediately evacuated to the 12th Brigade Medical Center for first aid and stabilization. The Nigerian Army reassures the general public of its commitment to safeguarding lives and property, while urging citizens to continue to support the military with timely information to aid ongoing operations. In another successful operation, troops of Operation Hardenkai eliminate 13 Jazz ISWAP terrorists in a failed ambush, recover arms ammunition at KERETO in BORNO. The troops of Operation Hardenkai have again demonstrated resilience in the face of their adversary, neutralizing 13 Boko Haram insurgents in a failed ambush improvised explosive device attack on the troops' convoy at KERETO. The failed ambush occurred on Wednesday, 3rd September 2025, when the troops were providing escorts to humanitarian trucks along road Gubio-Damasak. The troops, during the failed operation, detonated 2 command IEDs, followed with high volume of fire. However, the gallant troops swiftly took position and professionally suppressed the insurgents with overwhelming firepower, eliminating 13 insurgents instantly, while others scampered in disarray. The determined troops who further engaged the terrorists in pursuit exploited the area and recovered 8 AK-47 rifles, 10 AK-47 rifle magazines, and large cache of 7.62 mm ammunition. Other items recovered include camel bag and several rolls of detonating cord wires for making IEDs, as well as several primed 7 IED. Unfortunately, a soldier was slightly wounded in action, but stable. 4 MRAP tires damaged, while 2 of the trucks were engulfed in flames during the encounter. The troops have sustained deliberate operations in the general area to deny the terrorists freedom of action, while continuing with the humanitarian operations of providing security to the relief materials, of which have since been secured and moved to Damasak. The vigilant eyes of the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army will continue to comb trouble spots while combating those who pose threat to national peace and security. Remember, part of our responsibility as citizens is to be law-abiding and partner with security agencies for desired security of lives and property. As we leave you for now, let's continue to support the Nigerian Army with valuable information. Remember, you can watch our productions on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X on Nigerian Army Info TV. Until next episode, God bless you and bless Nigeria. I remain Francis Kabile. Bye.